Age of Mythology Retold is free this weekend. If you've ever been curious about it, want to visit the Battle of Troy, head to Egypt and unleash the mighty Guardian, or go to war with the Norsemen, now is the time. Here's everything you need to know to get started. Age of Mythology is one of the most unique RTS games in the Age of Empires franchise. Each civilization comes with a unique unit and building roster, mighty god powers, and ferocious myth units to do your bidding. The format you know and love is still there. Gather resources, expand your empire, and battle your opponent in a test of skill and wit, but with the added bonus of having a deity on your side. I'm currently finishing up my introductory series. Of the free-to-play gods, both Egyptian and Norse are done, and will give you a deep understanding of what's possible with these pantheons. The Aztecs, Japanese are also there, but you won't be able to play them unless you're going to grab the DLC, but you might face them on the ranked ladder, so it's worth knowing what they're capable of. If you're familiar with Age of Empires 2 or Age of Empires 4, I'd recommend starting out with the Greeks. If you played StarCraft 2, the Egyptians kind of play a little bit like Protoss, and Norse kind of plays a little bit like Zerg, so pick your poison. If you're completely new to RTS and have no idea where to start, my Fundamental series will skip the painful learning curve and get you on the right path from the get-go. A few rules to keep at the front of your mind as you play. Spend your resources. Idle gold and food sitting in your bank isn't going to win you the game. Economic upgrades come before military line upgrades. Those are your medium infantry, your champion archers, or your heavy cavalry, which also come before your armory upgrades, your tier 1 upgrades, copper weapons, tier 2 upgrades, bronze mail, tier 3 upgrades, iron shields. Address your weaknesses. If your opponent is hard countering you, adapt your unit composition and counter back. If you see you've got yourself a weakness, cover that with buildings or placing your army there. Fight on your own terms. Don't take bad fights. Run from god powers and turn around when they're done. Fight in your base if your opponent really wants to force it and you're going to come out on top. Don't be greedy. Building more town centers than your opponent is only worth doing when you already have a significant advantage, like winning a fight. Otherwise, you're just handing them the game. And finally, knowledge is power. Scout your opponent, see what they're building, and counter it before it even starts to come out. You can use the tech tree in-game to make a guess as to what your opponent might be building out of a building. For even more depth, I put together a playlist of some of my favorite content creators who are making beginner-friendly content. Check out Moose AOM for some quick tips and simple builds, or SUPPE for deep knowledge and perfectionist detail. If you'd rather read than watch, the Deities of Death Clan has a website with written build orders for every civilization. If you just want to jump straight in and you don't want to bother with any of the homework, I get you. So I got 5 quick tips to give you a leg up. First, turn on Villager Auto Queue. Unlike the other Age of games, Age of Mythology has the auto queue feature in it. It's very, very casual friendly. All you got to do is right click on the villager icon inside of your town center and it will automatically keep training villagers for you. Then simply make sure those villagers are working. An idle villager is a wasted villager. Auto queue also works on military units in single player. If you decide to jump into ranked, it's possible that your opponent might decide to turn that off, and their decision is priority. Second, play into your god's strengths. Zeus's infantry are strong. Hades favors archers. Poseidon's cavalry are exceptional. That said, always pay attention to what your opponent's doing. Infantry beats archers. Archers beats cavalry. Cavalry beats infantry. That's the general rule, but there are exceptions, so check the tooltip to make sure. Third, myth units are powerful, but they're not the core of your army. Build a healthy mix of human units to protect them from enemy heroes, because they're going to dominate them, but your human units will dominate the heroes. Fourth, don't underestimate walls. They are the difference between losing your economy to a raid and surviving it. Protect your villages, and if it comes to it, upgrade your walls. Fifth, god powers are a massive power spike in Age of Mythology Retold for both you and your opponent. So don't be afraid to run when your opponent uses one. When it's over, turn around and then use your own. The bonus tip here is don't forget about favor. Build your monuments, send villagers to prayer, and most importantly, spend it. Banking 200 favor is the equivalent of sitting on 2,000 resources. Unless you're saving for something specific, spend it as fast as you generate it. All the creator links and a starter playlist are in the description. The free weekend has already started, so get your games in, and I'll see you on the battlefield.